hope I don't have issues with this one. I'm sorry when the recording breaks up and it splits into 3 or 4 different videos. It's beyond me to how to solve that, but somehow it happens. So we have the recording is ongoing. Now you should all see my screen too. We have 30 attendees, so we're good to go. I'm going back to my cover page where we left off before lunch. I highlighted in yellow all the steps we have performed so far. Last one was my Migo transaction, which returned the material document number. Okay, and these are the steps we're going to follow now, right? We again will be the SD master data maintainer local, and we'll update the equipment record. We did that. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of this one. This is the one that before now we have switched and we have added to this process. I did it in the exercise too. So now we can just go directly into display transfer requirements, do all the warehouse work that we have to do, up until the point where we can go back at the end and complete our notification and even add all the information that we have in terms of the material document from Migo, the TR number and the TO number for put away. Okay, so we can either do it back and forth, jumping back and forth to the notification, but that's a lot of log in, log out. So let's finish first all the transactions that are, and then we'll jump into the last part of the notification so we can complete it too. Okay, and the same as before, any questions at any time, just jump in and let me know. We're going to go now into Citrix. I'm going to click on the training environment. And we're going to log in now, if I'm not mistaken, and go back to the demo, warehouse senior user, right? So the first thing I'm going to do is go back here, grab my warehouse senior user ID and copy this one. Go back to Citrix and hopefully, I don't know if it opened or not. There you go. Here you go. So let me make the screen bigger. I'll paste my user. Remember, we're in 510. And then here, we'll add Umoja 133. Okay. So here you go. Before I get started, let me go back to my exercise, the actual body. And here's the steps. So what I did this time around, since the exercises are quite long, almost 30 pages, for some of the steps we have already seen, like everything related to warehouse management here, what I did is add just first, use the warehouse, and we're going to populate this area. You guys are going to have this populated too, but I want to show you how to check what warehouse your materials are going to go in. Easy way to check it in Migo, and I want to make sure we do that. Then all I'm telling you is list transfer requirements, the T code, create transfer order for put away, the T code, and I even add other T codes for the bins if you want to list empty bins, create a new one, or list materials for bins, the order and the put. So only the T codes. If you want the step-by-step and the exercise for physical and virtual goods receipts are there, so you could always go back to that. But I think that since we've done it already, maybe just with the T codes, that the transaction is simple enough to be able to perform without looking at every screenshot. Nonetheless, we're going to do that together now. So before I dive into LB10, I want to check what warehouse I'm going to be using, right? Because if I do use LB10, remember this from day 2, LB10, if I click on this, it's going to ask me for warehouse number, okay? And this is not the same as the plant. This is not US00. Now we have to add a warehouse number. So which one is it? How do I know what warehouse I'm adding to search for my transfer requirements? Okay, I can open this up and I can see that if I, for example, click on the goggles here and put HQ, we're going to have an HQ warehouse, which is AF1, which is probably going to be the one that thinks, because it seems like it's the only one I have. But let's make sure first. And how do we do that? We open a new session. I'm going to go to Migo and hopefully I can do that transaction with this user. Yes. And this time I'm going to display the transaction that I did before, right? The material document. So I'm going to go here and say display material document. Very good. And I'm going to add my material document number here, right? And I know because I have it also written down from before. So I'm just, to save time, I'm just going to write it in 29271. This is the material document we generated before when we were returning goods to stock. We can execute that. And here it shows, right? This is the computer tablet. Remember, it was old supply. It was only one piece of equipment. Again, it was going into the plant US00, storage location 3101, unrestricted. We had a reservation number. The account assignment was already all defined. The serial number we added manually. And now warehouse management tab, this one here. When we look at this one, you see warehouse number AF1, right? So now we know for sure that the goods are being sent there. So we see that we have a goods receipt here, 901 movement type in warehouse AF1. So this is now for sure we know that it's going there. So I can always go back to my other screen. I can close this one here and know that this is definitely the warehouse that I'm searching for. And maybe I don't need to add anything else, even source storage type or destination. Maybe I can just go with this. You also have options to select the open, partially delivered, or completed if you want to see them all. Basically, all I want to see is the status open for open transfer requirements. So I can click enter, and there you go. We have a whole list of transfer requirements to process. Depending on the transaction, if it's a goods receipt or if it's a goods issue, the PO number, or maybe if there's a cost center, if we were doing this before through a reservation. Remember that you can simply select the column here and filter and add our reservation number right there. So we can add here 5796, as we know, and in this case, oh, very good. So I don't see anything here in terms of transfer requirements. That's good news. All right, I'll check and see what's going on with that. Let's see if maybe we did something wrong. Okay, I'm gonna execute this one again and scroll down and see if I can see the transfer requirement. All the way at the bottom, it should be the last one to come in. And why maybe I don't see it, right? If it's the reservation, sorry, I'm actually writing the reservation number, not the transfer requirement. All right, sorry, I think I had too much to eat. All right, so let me click on the new page again. Let me go back to Migo. And now let's see, because I'm added the reservation number, right? Sorry. So again, let's see, we have our warehouse here and AF1, and what is our transfer number? Here you go, right? 611. So sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that confusion. We have our TR number there also in Migo. So you have displaying your material document, your TR number 611, which is of course not the same thing as your reservation number, right? So here we have at least two new documents that we haven't added to our notification, our material document and our TR number. All right, so now I can definitely close this window, and now I can perform a filter of the TR number search here and add the right one, right, which is 611. All right, and now here I should have, there you go, one of them. All right, so basically it's good. These issues will happen. You'll commit the same mistakes that I'm making here too. The best thing is to know why you're making them and where you can find the solution to it, right? So here we go. We have now the 611 TR requirement, movement type 901, which is coming into use good receipt. We have the cost center here as the requirement number, the reference, and it's coming from return, and the destination, we still have to select it. All right, so when it means coming from return, it means that if we go into the TO, if we start processing this directly from this screen, remember you can do that, you remember that it tells you that from where we're taking these goods from and where we want to put them to. In day 2, when we were doing goods receipt, this from section here, I believe was 902 for the receipt of goods. And the destination, again, was still blank because we haven't told the system where we want this to go. So how do we know where we want this to go? And this is where I'm adding in the exercise these T codes, LX1 for empty bins, LX2 to see bins that have typical materials in them, or if I want to create a new one. So let me go with LX2 first, and I'm going to leave this screen open here. I'm going to open up LX2, and I can hear the sound again. I guess I have to remove it every single time I log in. We have our warehouse already predefined, but again, it's the same warehouse because that's where I'm bringing my storage to. I'm just going to click on execute if I want to. I can predefine here the type of storage and even the storage bin if I want to look at it through here, or I can just run the report as is. Okay, I can filter by material. Maybe I want to search first for the type of material that I have, the computer tablet, and see if maybe I have already other computer tablets in a specific bin, right? Because we see here we have some expendables that are in one bin, others that are in another bin. So we have different names for different for the same items that are kind of spread around. Now, maybe this is not the case in reality, and you have all these types in one single bin. You see that we have here tons, but since we use this to practice with students, we have tons of different names here. I even have the one I created, recently, which is with Brian training. So to do that, you can select again the column here, you can filter, and you can, the material number here. Let's see if we can filter through there, and we have a list here of columns. All right, I don't want that to happen.